The Queen of Granada, by M. Riff. Chapter 41, The Silent Cry. My brother seemed to handle it well initially but eventually fell apart. They had to hospitalize him in a psychiatric ward. That's when I decided to study psychology. After a brief pause, she continued, "At first, I thought I was doing it to help my brother and father and to understand why my mother had taken her own life. But recently I read in one of my books that I chose it to support my own ego and survive our troubled family that appeared like a sinking ship. When it seems that you are selflessly helping others, you are often trying to help yourself." She fell silent for a moment and then looked at Rita, saying firmly, "Come on, now it's your turn." Rita was captivated by the aging 2CV that bravely struggled to overtake the bus. The old car's roof flapped so loosely in the strong wind as if it might come off at any moment. Rita glanced at the bus driver, who was calmly rolling up the hill in fourth gear. She looked back at Tessa and said, "I think you're right about what you just said. When I started going through my stepmother's notes in the moving boxes in the basement, I believed I was doing it for my little brother's sake. I'd heard about brainwashing, and to me, it sounded like some sort of black magic. I was convinced that my stepmother was brainwashing my brother, and I wanted to stop it." Turning to the window, she explained, "My parents divorced when I was 4, and my brother just 2 years. My mother left my father for another man and cut off all contact with us. I've even seen her on the street a few times, but she pretended not to know me." She looked at Tessa and continued, "Even though I was quite young, I became the woman of the house. My dad, who's an accountant, taught me to read, write, and do math before I started school. I used to read the numbers out loud for him, and he'd punch them into the calculator. Often, I'd already figured out the result in my head before he hit the sum button. I never told him that I already knew the result." Puzzled, Tessa looked at her and asked, "Why not?" Rita replied, "I was afraid he'd find out my secret."